Alright, what is going on the internet today?
You know, my feminist videos are some of the least popular videos I make.
Ah, shit. I'm making an Onision response today, aren't I?
And when I refer to popularity, I'm talking about how many views those videos get. A lot of people simply do not care about feminism. In fact, a good portion of the people who actually talk about feminism speak of feminism as if the majority of feminists don't fall in line with the definition of feminism.
Well, I'm not a feminist. And I'm not an anti-feminist either. I have feminist friends and I have anti-feminist friends. And you might be surprised to know that they mostly get along. You know, probably because they're adults and can speak about these things offline. Now, I can't speak to whether or not the majority of feminists don't fall in line with the definition of feminism, because either way you look at it, without the numbers right here in front of me, numbers which in all likelihood have never been tallied, it doesn't matter when the loudest voices of feminism in the one place that I can research it, the internet, is mostly batshit crazy lunatics.
Any halfwit can conclude that if someone doesn't fit the definition of something, then they are obviously not that.
Well, then you don't fit the definition of feminist then. Didn't you say that?
We're gonna search for why girls are better than boys. Because everybody fucking knows they are.
Yeah, that's about what I thought. So how does it feel to be internally inconsistent?
But apparently the internet is full of individuals who simply do not understand that feminism is today what feminism has been for some time. And that is the advocacy of women's rights on the grounds of political, social, and economic equality to men.
At one point, mainstream feminism was exactly as you described. Today, not so much. Onision here seems to be of the belief that feminism has always been a static entity, that it's never shifted or changed throughout the years. That's wrong. Let me learn you a thing real quick here, Onision. Feminism in the early 1960s was arguably a positive thing. Much of, but not all of, the literature that came out prior to then wasn't really all that disagreeable if equal rights was your goal. And then in 1963, the United States Equal Pay Act was passed, and along came a woman by the name of Gloria Steinem. Now, Gloria Steinem, with the backing of the Rockefeller family, the CIA, and against much opposition within the mainstream feminist movement at the time, she and her fellow cronies basically hijacked feminism, telling women how they were expected to behave in a way that the Western men rarely, if ever, did. I mean, let's move it ahead to modern day. Do you think that people like Camille Paglia or Christina Hoff Sommers are anti-feminist, despite them taking the label of feminist for advocating for the areas in which men are disadvantaged? You think? You obviously know about Valerie Solanas, who wrote the Scum Manifesto, in which she advocated for the population of men to be culled and maintained at about 10% of the total population. So what about that screams equality to you? I mean, you're clearly an intellectual powerhouse with no shade of ignorance whatsoever about you. And, I mean, you clearly know what you're talking about, right? So please, parse that for me. But more importantly, explain to me how an arbitrary definition doesn't change over time, and explain to me how the near entirety of online discourse over feminism is filled with statements like, kill all men, and relies entirely on belittling dudes in order to lift themselves up. I would argue that having to rely on rhetoric like that is artificial and regressive. But hey, what do I know, right? I mean, I've only read the literature, and I understand the shift between Betty Friedan's feminine mystique and bell hooks as well. Anything by bell hooks. But you, well, you have Google and Twitter polls that you spread among your mostly teenage girl follower fan base that obviously prove these things beyond a shadow of a doubt, right? I mean, how can I compete with that? I can't.
Yes, I've made so many goddamn videos on feminism, the definition is ingrained in my fucking brain. A common statement of anti-feminists is that feminists are these extremist crazy people and not people who are all about equal rights. Anti-feminists think that feminists fight for women's superiority and not equality. Again, read the definition. But of course, definitions aren't good enough. You need something more than that. Here's a Twitter poll showing the mass majority of feminists believe in equality. But that's a Twitter poll and it doesn't agree with you.
I think it has less to do with the fact that it's a Twitter poll that doesn't agree with them, and more to do with the fact that it's a Twitter poll. Twitter polls are not objective, not scientific, they don't prove anything. Now, let me actually just dumb this down for those who don't seem to understand how polls work. First of all, your sample population, such as it is, isn't random. They're your fans. Not going to withstand any sort of scrutiny whatsoever. Your result is exactly what anyone with 2 brain cells to rub together would have predicted. Look at conservative journalist Milo Yiannopoulos. Last year he did a poll asking his followers would prefer feminism or cancer. Well, oh look, people prefer cancer. The difference, of course, being is that Milo knew his poll was a joke. You, on the other hand, are treating it like it's serious business. Seriously, you bring up that poll in like every other video. It's not objective, thus it is unusable as evidence of anything other than how your fans feel. Case in point, I started this poll just last night and oh look, is it objective? Obviously not. Is it a joke? Sure. Does it matter at all what the majority of my followers believe? Not one iota. But by your own application of logic, you're a moron.
So before we get into famous feminists, let's go ahead and get into famous KKK fucking members. And a Republican is the first thing to show up. He says it's not appropriate to joke about the KKK. The number 2 result for celebrity KKK quotes. And the quote referring to Trump is of course shitting all over Trump. Trump, who former Grand Wizard of the KKK, David Duke, may or may not adore. And the third result is a not so related quote about violence in Chicago. So obviously when you search for celebrity KKK quotes, most all of it, if not all of it, refers to super bad shit, often revolving around Republicans.
Okay, first of all, I feel that it's important to note that the KKK was initially associated with the Democratic Party. That is the left wing, the opposite of Republicans, for those who don't understand American politics. Secondly, what the actual fuck does this have to do with anything? Oh my god, a Republican said something ignorant. I gotta make a call here. Hold on. Guys, a Republican said something ignorant on the internet. But really, and especially in terms of this quote, it lacks context. He could have been talking about anything. And to be honest, I'm not interested enough in Mitt Romney to go bother looking it up. Also, in absolute fairness, there are several areas in which the values of the KKK and the values of Black Lives Matter overlap. You know, like issues like segregation. They actually agree on that, which is really weird to me. But this video isn't about the KKK, so let's continue.
Here's Emma Watson, a feminist, establishing what feminism is. Here's Beyonce, another gorgeous feminist, who you now, of course, hate and are going to boycott because she supports equality between men and women, right? Yeah, let's fucking do that. Because most every single decent celebrity is a feminist.
And here's where we have Onision droning on for 3 minutes about celebrities that support feminism. None of it matters, really. You seem to be of the opinion that somehow being a celebrity means you're right. This is patently false. And in fact, oh look, it's actually listed as a logical fallacy. What that means is that using celebrity quotes to prove a point doesn't work. And even so, in an academic setting, it wouldn't fly. You would be disqualified, you would lose the debate, whatever. Even if a celebrity agreed with me, it would still be inadmissible as an argument. Period. Yeah. Although, it probably means I would like them a little bit more, but that's about it. Case in point, Shailene Woodley, Kelly Clarkson, Evangeline Lilly, Lana Del Rey, Joni Mitchell, Jerry Halliwell of the Spice Girls, Carrie Underwood, Lady Gaga, Katy Perry, Gwyneth Paltrow, Sarah Jessica Parker, Demi Moore, Dita Von Teese, Susan Sarandon, Bjork, Madonna, who I actually might add has an IQ of 140, and the first female Supreme Court judge ever, Sandra Day O'Connor. Oh yeah, and former Prime Minister, Margaret Thatcher. They've all gone on record explaining that not only are they not feminists, but explaining why they're not feminists. But does that matter? Does it make my point any stronger? No, it doesn't. So why would it make yours? And now for some extra editing, because during his 3-minute appeal to celebrity, he said a few things here and there that I wanted to specifically respond to.
Again, I'm going one by one. Wouldn't want you to accuse me of cherry picking, because then you could use this one little thing to completely write off what I'm saying for the sake of continuing your bullshit mentality.
I don't think you understand how cherry picking actually works, man. If the quote doesn't fit the topic, then what relevance does it have? Okay, cherry picking is taking relevant quotes that say specific things while ignoring the rest of the relevance. That's what cherry picking is. I mean, and to be honest, anybody who's going to call you out for cherry picking based on your standard of it probably has way too much time on their hands, much like yourself. And to follow your logic through to its inevitable conclusion, you seem to be very anti-Republican. But the concrete definition of the word Republican in the dictionary is, oh, look, a person advocating or supporting Republican government. So what is a Republican government according to our friend, the dictionary? A Republican government is a state in which supreme power is held by the people and their elected representatives, and which has an elected or nominated president rather than a monarch. So explain to me, Onision, why you're against the power being held by the people. Explain why you disapprove of elected representatives. Why are you so pro-monarchy? Seriously though, stop using the dictionary definition of proof, because as with anything in the English language, while you're talking about groups of people, it's all open to subjective interpretation.
Sending a positive message for women, again showing up in Google as a direct result of a feminist search.
Alright, let's try an experiment here. Let's use Google to search for proof of something that I don't actually believe in. So let's say vaccines cause autism. All right, let's just take a look. We'll see what we can find on my first page of results. Oh yeah. Oh, great. Oh, yeah, look at that one. Okay. So, someone's biases have been proven right yet again. Thanks, Google.
And see what % of the celebrity quotes that show up actually fall in line with the message the anti-feminists clearly want you to believe is true. The majority of these represent what modern fucking feminism is.
How about you Google Lena Dunham, the actress, and find out what she did to her little sister and how she defended it in her own book. I don't know, go look at the history of Zoe Quinn, where she can cheat on her boyfriend with 5 different guys, but if he writes a heartbroken blog post to get it, he gets brought up on charges. The list goes on and on and on. Why don't you Google what Professor Christina Hoff Sommers' experiences were in the 90s, which caused her to be critical of feminism while still being a feminist herself? And why not Google some of the main causes of why women leave feminism instead of just jumping to your own conclusions and being a fucking dickhead about it? So why don't you go and educate yourself on what like social construction theory is all about? Go read some bell hooks and, you know, weigh it against the writing of people like Camille Paglia or Christina Hoff Sommers. Go ahead and you tell me, please, without that stupid mask on, what even is that mask about? We know what you look like. Are you trying to be some kind of weird, demented Luca Libre? You look more like a parking lot rapist. Take the mask off and tell me with a straight face, after reading up on all these theories, that you understand what feminism's all about and you think it's still A-okay. You only perceive the ideal of feminism. You don't, however, understand the reality of it. The ideal of feminism is arguably positive. The reality, on the other hand, is hurting people. And not just men either. It's hurting women and children, transgender people, The ideology has resulted in so much blind voting on issues that are barely understood that it has contributed to various areas of human suffering right here in the West. If you're a man who's experienced domestic violence, fuck you. No shelter for you. And if you try to start one, you're going to be harassed, you're going to be protested until you run out of money and end up hanging yourself in your garage like Earl Silverman. Are you a good father who had a child with an unstable, unemployed, or drug-addicted woman? Guess what'll happen if you try to sue for custody. And this isn't the fault of your normal, everyday feminist on the streets. This is the fault, objectively, of feminist lobbyists who ludicrously fear that the law might be misused in such a way to disadvantage women. And instead, they prefer that it goes on disadvantaging men. So get over yourself. I mean, you talk a lot about education, Onision, but ultimately, you're working on a teenage level of discourse. You know what? And I mean, hell, I didn't want to make this personal, but fuck. You took a video of your mentally ill wife having a breakdown, and then you uploaded it to YouTube. And for all I know, you monetized it and SEO'd the fucking thing. What? Why would you do that? Did you think it would go viral? I just don't get it. I can't parse it. I would never do that in a million years to anybody that I claim to care about. And so by that standard, I'm sorry, man, but your opinion's worthless. You're too focused on what you think feminism is that you're not seeing it for what it actually is, which is a broadly defined group that consists of dozens, if not more, different denominations with very different beliefs and opinions. Feminism is not a monolith, and you can't even be jived to spend 5 minutes looking into a person before you decimate them. My God, like Blair White, you didn't even know she was trans. You were freaking using that like, oh, you know, if you get pregnant, she's trans. I don't know a single anti-feminist who considers people like Ellen Page or Beyonce to be extremists. And well, I do know a lot of anti-feminists. I also know a lot of feminists who think that men's rights activists should not just be welcomed, but should be a necessary part of the conversation on equal gender rights. Guilty of the exact same things that you're blaming the anti-feminists for. Furthermore, you seem unhinged and artificially self-sure in your delivery of your criticisms, and I suggest you see a therapist about that, because that could be something much worse than, you might think. And with all that said, Onision should have been stopped long ago, and education can stop him. Everyone has a right to their opinion, but these facts make these opinions next to worthless. Embrace the truth. Embrace the evidence. And this is irrefutable. Peace out.